Hello, and welcome to our virtual classroom experience. My name is Vivian Stewart, and I am one of your librarians at Southwest. Now, I am not sure how familiar you are with our library, but the virtual classroom experience just simply means that I am going through everything I would normally do if we were in a classroom or a computer lab. Now, at this moment, I am about to share my desktop. So, the session today is entitled Easy Access to Art Resources. So, for any student who may be in an art appreciation class, this session will demonstrate how to locate art resources that may be helpful to help you learn the subject matter or that may simplify information that's in your textbook. Now, I am currently at the library's homepage, and the quickest way for you to get to this page is to go to any of the public websites for the school. And in the blue banner at the top, library is listed. Okay. Now, the first thing that I want to do is to make sure that you're able to navigate around the library's homepage. And then we will start looking at some of our resources, and I will provide demonstrations by setting up a scenario for you. So if you would like to take some notes, you can, because the only difference now than if we were actually in a computer lab is that you will be working along with me. So I want to make sure that you can access these resources later on. You may find that it will be helpful for you to select the full screen view at this point to make sure that you can see everything. So let's just take a look at our homepage. At the very top, it says, Welcome to the library, and we're known as the InfoNet Library, and we have 5 locations for our students, faculty, and staff. Next, you'll see a collage of photos taken from our campus locations, followed by 3 announcements. And you know that these are announcements because of the red bar over to the left. So the first one just simply informs you that we are still closed due to the pandemic, but you can contact us by using Ask a Librarian. We've started curbside pickup services on a Tuesday and a Thursday. This does not include any reference books nor textbooks. And the third announcement provides you with the instructions of how to check out and how to return those materials. Instant messages is listed over to the right. So this is how you can perform live chat with the librarian. Whenever we're not online, as you see here, you have the ability to select to send us an email. We have various links listed in this category, followed by the category that says featured resource. So this gives you a glimpse of some of the resources that are available for checkout. And I believe this theme covers cooking, so there are various cookbooks. The information that I have here is information being pulled from our mission statement and what we are trying to accomplish. Next, you have our most frequently selected and used pages, which will be our databases first, and this is where we're going next. Course reserves will be used if you were trying to find out if a certain location had a print copy of a textbook that you could use for a 2-hour period on site. Reserve a study room allows you to be able to select and reserve a study room for your use for a 3-hour period. We have various forms for students to use to request information, request services, certain forms for faculty to use to place items on reserve, to request instructional sessions, and then there are forms that allow us to gather feedback from you. CyberCat is our online catalog, which is used to locate print resources. WorldCat is a global catalog which can be used to find holdings around the world. SOAR is our discovery service, and as it states, you can use it to locate articles, books, multimedia, and more. Down near the bottom, we have our widgets. So there's a widget entitled Ask a Librarian, and this is how you can get assistance from us. We have our own YouTube channel where we have created videos for students who are more visual type learners. The 360 virtual tour will allow you to view the interior of our locations if you've never been on site. The library webinars will provide you with a schedule of online sessions that you can attend. We do have a social media presence on Facebook. Branch hours and info would not only give you operational hours, but also a listing of staff members. And the last thing says report a problem. So if you experience any type of technical issues, please report it here so that we can take care of that in a timely manner. Now, as I scroll back up under links, I would like to point out that there are open labs that are open on each of the locations during the pandemic. So if you would like to use one of the labs and for maybe a 2-hour period, just simply select this particular link and put in your request. If you would like to look at the different resources that we have when it comes to maybe books and magazines, you can use this particular link. I am selecting library services. Next, I am selecting circulation services. And there are three things that I would like to talk about on this particular page. And the first one covers the checkout procedure. Your college ID is needed in order to check materials out from us, whether this is to check out materials to take home, check out a textbook to use on site, or even check out equipment like a laptop or an iPad. We need your college ID. Now, it is also a campus policy that you are supposed to have your college ID on you at all times. So please just start getting into the habit of always having it with you. The next place will be listening to our borrowing use agreements and what they entail for you. We maintain partnerships with each of the schools that is listed here. So, as a Southwest student, under normal conditions, you can visit these different locations and their students could come to our libraries also. Now, during the pandemic, some of these locations are still closed and others are only servicing their own students, faculty, and staff. So, for future reference, if you wanted to visit a Category A school like Rhodes College, first of all, your college ID would be required. And then you need to be aware of what you can and you can't do. Category A schools will allow you to borrow materials from their collections. When it comes to using their computers and other items in their facilities, you would just need to inquire because there may be some restrictions as we have restrictions also. If you wanted to visit a Category B school, like the Southern College of Optometry, they would allow you to use their resources, but you must use everything on site. Okay. So keep in mind that we make sure that you have access to other resources that we may not have, and they are available if you are flexible enough to travel to these different locations. The rules of conduct are set up for everyone. So if you're visiting one of our facilities, we expect you to monitor your noise level as to not disturb anyone. We ask that you do not bring in foods or beverages. But at our Born Bloom Library, we have the Cyber Cafe, and this is a designated place where students can go and they can eat and drink items and then come back out into the library. Do not misuse library property. We're only asking that you be respectful. So when you come in, please don't put your feet up in the chairs. Please don't sit on the tables or right on our property. In between your classes, please don't come in and decide to lie down and take a nap. Just simply be respectful of those who are using the facility after you leave and just have a pride about wanting to keep the facilities in good condition for everyone. The last one asks you to place your cell phones on vibrate and long conversations are not allowed. So this is not saying that you can't use your cell phones because you can. Simply be mindful of the noise level. So placing your phone on speaker and having a conversation can be a distraction. FaceTiming someone can be a distraction. Even coming into the library and decide that you want to create a video can be a distraction. So those are the type of things we ask that you step outside, take care of it, and then come back. I am selecting my left arrow to go back. You may want to look at the off-campus page and the frequently asked questions page. Back now at the library's homepage, and I am going now to our databases. So if your instructor gave you an assignment and said you cannot use Google, would you know where how to even start? Lots of times students don't realize that there are alternatives to using popular search engines all the time. And your professors are expecting a little bit more from you than constantly performing a Google search. Though I'm not saying that they won't provide you with some information, but it may not be the type of information that the instructor requires, like scholarly, authoritative, credible information. We're going to look at a couple of scenarios of how our resources can help you if you had a certain type of assignment. At the very top, it says this is where you locate ebooks, multimedia items, journal, and magazine articles. And we're going to look at each of these. Now, your Southwest username and password will be required when you're working remotely. I also want you to know that we have this A to Z resource page. So if by chance you forget how to locate an item, but you remember the title, you may be able to find it listed here. The quick searches are one-page documents that are subject-specific that will help guide you through the research process by identifying the best databases to use, identifying some of the best ebooks that you will find, and even periodicals. So on our databases page, we have these broad categories listed, and they are arranged alphabetically, starting with biographies, and the last category is science. So if you had an assignment where you had to present to your class information about someone that is discussed in your art appreciation textbook, a good place to start would be the category of biographies. And when I expanded biographies, you'll see we have the databases listed. So these are the paid subscriptions that we maintain. And then we also have recommended websites that we have used that we consider to be good sites. So I'm not saying that all popular search engines are bad. Some are better than others. So we have bookmarked what we consider to be the better of those. I am starting with biography, Gale, and context. And of course, I'm working remotely. So at this point, I am logging in with my Southwest credentials. Now, once I am actually logged in, I will have access to all of the resources on this page. So remember, our assignment is that we need to find biographical information on someone who's listed in the textbook. So of course, I know that Vincent van Gogh is possibly listed. So let me perform a search. And hopefully you can see everything very clearly. Okay, and his name has now moved to the top so I can select it. And this is what I have. It starts off with the picture of him that I can easily enlarge if I wanted to. And it says that this is my overview, and it says read more. So when I select read more, now I have the full text of information coming from the Encyclopedia of World Biography online. And this has a 1998 copyright. So as I scroll down, you can see that this is full text information that is provided for you. And this is a good starting point. There are tools in all of our databases that may be helpful, like Cite is provided, and it will cite this in these three styles that you have listed. We have the ability to translate this into multiple languages. I can decrease or increase my font size. I can listen to this if I'm more of an audio type learner. This is a shortcut to your Google Drive if you would like to send your information there. This is a shortcut to the Microsoft OneDrive by using your Southwest credentials. There is another email option. We can download this to a USB drive, and then you have the print option. There is also an electronic highlighter. So as I'm reading through this information, let's say that I decided that there was something here that I wanted to use and share. Once I release my mouse, these are the color options that I have. There's even a dictionary that is here. I can create my own internal note, and then I could save this. So at the very end, I could just simply print out the highlighted portions only. Now, I definitely understand how you can say, well, if I had just performed a Google search, I'd get something very similar. And that's true. But I haven't shown you everything that is here. So let me go back to my previous page. You have your quick facts listed. And as I scroll down a little bit, we have 5 featured contents, which may be information coming from books or magazines. I have 5 biographies. I have 303 newspaper articles, 5 academic journals, 119 magazines. I have images. There's an official website, and then there are some audios that are provided. All of this is available on Vincent Van Gogh for you. Now, if by chance your assignment was to find an artist, a photographer, or even an architect that was not listed in your textbook, well, then there's a way to perform an occupation search. And I am simply going to browse people in my drop down menu. These are my different options, and I'm just simply selecting artists. And I'm just waiting. Okay, it actually changed and I didn't even notice it. But now I have an alphabetical listing of various artists, and I could just simply select the name and it will display that information for me. So let's see if we have a category for photography. So we don't have one for photography, but at least you can see how this would actually work for you. So this is biography, Gill, and context. The next category will be electronic books. Under electronic books, let's go to Credo Reference, which is a digital collection of reference books. So if I want to perform a search because I have to find information on Roman art. So at this point, I am performing my search. So I have information that is coming from the Encyclopedia of Ancient History. I can select read more to see the entire thing. I can get information on my image. I have 18,376 results, and I could use these different filters if I wanted to. If you're more of a visual type person, we have Roman art, and these are different things that advance off from there. So if I wanted to look at the first one, the Roman art and architecture, this is coming from the Macmillan Encyclopedia. I have information pulled from this encyclopedia. I could save or bookmark this and come back to it later. It tells me the number of words, and then these are key concepts that I could use to go to other places. By simply selecting my topic, this is my information. As you can see, it's not a lot. I can have it cited in the different styles here, and these are different tools that are provided. And then I have related searches. So remember, these are reference books. We have another collection that is similar, which is Gale eBooks. And in this time, I want to try to find information on African art. Okay, 1,170 results. And if I decided that I wanted to look at this first one, the art of African Americans, I could see the editor. I have the source that it comes from. It tells me my copyright year, the number of pages if I decided to print this out, and it pulls sentences from here. So by simply selecting my topic, I now have the information. Okay, ProQuest eBook Central. This is where you can get the full text of books. So I'm going to try to find information on 20th century arts. Okay, now we have a large number, 43,343. This number is so large because I simply performed a keyword search. So it's searching for all of these 20th century and art, and they may not necessarily be together. So keep that in mind that the keyword search gives you way more than it would if you kind of customize your searching a little bit. But this is what we actually have. In my results list, if I decided I wanted to view 20th century American art, this is my title. I have my author's name and publishing information. I even have a picture of the book. By simply selecting the title, the next page should show me the book details. I even have information about the author. It tells me the number of pages that I can print, the number of pages that I can copy. When I am ready, I simply select Read Online. Table of contents shows up over to the left-hand side. As I scroll down a little bit, I want you to see the cover of the book. I have tools across the top that I can use, and some of these tools will require you to create a. I can navigate through the entire book by using my navigational arrows, or I can use the scroll bar over to the side. Closing this out, let's go to Net the Library, which is another book collection that we have, and let's perform the same search. And I can select it from my listing here. Okay, I have 631 results. So just as before, I have my title, I have my author's name, and I have my publishing information, and I also have the cover of the book. By selecting the title on the next page, it should show me the different tools that I have access to. A description of the book. I can view the table of contents, and I have two options under detailed record, PDF full text and EPUB full text. So now I'm loading the book up. I have my table of contents. I have tools across the top. This is the cover of the book. In order to navigate through it, I simply use my navigational arrows, but the entire book is available for you. Okay, closing this out. Now let's go to the category of humanities, social sciences. So if I needed to find articles, I am selecting art full text. So let's say that I had a research paper and I needed to find information on, let's say, art therapy. I have 1,323 results. Everything is not full text, so I need to limit by full text. And I am down to 460. So what we have is the titles are listed first in blue. You have your author's name and the source that it came from. It even may provide you with other subject headings that you could use. And most of these provide you with the PDF full text, which means it shows you the way it looked when it was scanned to become digital. So this is the way it actually looked. I have tools over to the side. Other articles that appeared in this particular resource are available in this area. The same topic, I want to go to arts and humanities. Okay, 8,835. Once again, everything may not be full text, so let's limit it. And the numbers did not change much. But now under source types, I can select scholarly journals. There's one book. I can select magazine articles, trade journals, or even other sources. I am selecting magazine articles. If I wanted to limit by publication dates, I could. But what we have are your titles, you have your author's name, the source that it came from, a couple of sentences pulled from this particular resource. I can view the abstract, full text, which would be the HTML version or the PDF version. So let's just select full text. And my computer just tends to be slowing up a little. Maybe more people online now. So this is the full text of the article, and I have the ability to translate this into other languages. You have your tools at the very top. Cite is one of your tools. And you have the ability to cite this in various styles. Some other titles that you may be interested in would be fine arts. Um, you may want to look at this Grove Encyclopedia of Classical Art, Grove Encyclopedia of Decorative Art, the Grove Encyclopedia of Islamic and Architectural, also the Grove Encyclopedia of Materials and Techniques. Humanities full text may provide you with something also. Under recommend, we have the Art Masterpieces, Art Cyclopedia. Google Art and Culture is great for finding virtual museums. You have Metropolitan Museum of Art, and then you have the Web Gallery of Art. Under multimedia, for people who are more visual type learners, we have streaming medias. So you have the history of Western art. And I believe there are 6 volumes to this title. And you can watch these from your desktop. Okay, here we are. Now, as I scroll down to the category of multimedia, I want to introduce you to the Master Academic Collection. And there are a couple of titles that I just want to point out to you that I have found to be very good. This collection has over 43,000 titles. There is a series entitled Art 21. So once again, this was just a keyword search, so disregard this large number. But as I scroll down, you have Art 21 Season 1, Art 21 Season 6, Season 5. So these will be very good for you also. There's also a series entitled Great Artists. And as you can see, it is a series. So the first one has 14 parts. The next one has 11 parts. But you're able to watch these videos from your desktop. There's also Image Quest that is available. So sometimes you need to find pictures of different works that people have done. So we would just perform a quick search once again for Vincent van Gogh. And it has 825 images. So if I simply selected one, these are the tools that you have access to. It shows you where we actually received this from. It gives credit for where it came from. If you simply click on the image, it makes it a little bit larger so you can see you could download it or you could print it out. So this is a great place for you to find the images that you may need. Almost every class has some type of writing component. So under grammar, I just want to point out that these are recommended websites that we recommend may be good for you to use. And the thesis builder will actually help you develop a thesis statement for if you're writing a research paper. You would just need to answer these questions and select build the thesis. And it will give you a suggested statement based upon what you have placed here. It is not plagiarism as long as you don't copy and paste something directly from a resource. If you've never written a research paper before, you may want to look at preparing for a research paper or speech. Grammarly is the only database that is listed, and this will proof your papers for you before you turn it in to your instructor. So you would need to register by entering your name. You must use your Southwest email and it asks you for a password. When you select sign up, an email goes to your Southwest email and you have to complete the validation and wait for your welcome letter. You could copy and paste whatever you have written into Grammarly and it will proof it for grammatical errors, spelling errors, and also plagiarism. I am going back to the library's homepage and I want to show you SOAR. So this time let's use Art Deco. SOAR is pulling together all of our print resources, all of our electronic resources into one place for you. So we have 424,463 items. This first one is actually a print item. It provides you with the call number. It lets you know which of our locations actually has this item. During normal conditions, you will have the ability to ask that this be transferred to a location that's easier for you to access. But now let's select full text online, which removes all of our print resources. I am selecting magazine articles, and I'm selecting under publication date the last 3 years. So now I have my results list. Okay. And if by chance I decided that I wanted to publish this particular one, I have my title, have my author's name, I have the source. It pulls a couple of sentences from it. And by simply selecting the title, I should now be able to view the full text. And once again, I just think I'm just having a slow response time, but here we are, I have the article. Okay, so wrapping things up, one way that you can get assistance is by using our YouTube channel. This is where we create videos to show students how to use our resources. So feel free to browse to see what we have here. Ask a Librarian has 8 ways to get assistance. So if you have a research project and you would like a librarian to work with you one-on-one for about maybe 15 or 20 minutes, submit this form and a librarian will contact you. Ref Chatter indicates when live chat is available. So these are the hours of operation. When we're not online, you can send us an email. And I want that this is not set up for you to ask us homework questions. What we would do is direct you to where you can go to find your answers. Please use this number to send us a text message. You could chat with us on our Facebook page. When it comes to telephone numbers, these are the numbers to our different locations, and we have staff members who are responding to any voice messages. Under your class role in pause, you'll see Ask a Librarian is listed. So this is where you can ask us questions and we will respond. BombGuard is a software that will allow us to remote out to your computers. This is our departmental email address. And if you can't think of another way to contact us, please use Report a Problem and we will respond to you. So this brings me to the end of my presentation. I am about to stop sharing my screen. I do hope that this has been informative and you will start thinking about using the library not for this class, but other classes that you're having. Remember, you can always reach out to us by using Ask a Librarian. And I hope that we will hear from you soon. So please stay safe and we'd love to hear from you soon. Okay, bye-bye.